Hey everyone, this is Roldy again. So these are my last few battles of season 3. I'm in the Master League, Open Master League. I got my coach over there in the coaching's corner, trying to get me through hopefully my first ever push to be close enough to rank 10. So these are some battles from Sunday. So we're gonna have to go into Monday to try to close up rank 10. Let's see how close we get. So we have Zekrom in the lead. 100% Zekrom, Shendo Mewtwo, and Melmetal in the back of 98. So here we go. So with the Mewtwo lead, I tend to stay. I'm counting to see if they're side striking. Side strike does do a lot to Zekrom, but you'll get to a crunch before they get to their second side strike. So let's see if they decide to shield. They decide to shield. I try to match it, or I decided to try to catch with. Oh, they switched. So we switched as well into Melon. I'm like wondering why did I switch so early? They switched, so I just counter switched. And I'm noticing a lot of people are counter switching into Dialga. So having Melmetal in the back is working pretty well. At first, I had Metagross, and I started seeing that team wasn't working very well. Melmetal's been doing so much better with this team comp. Especially with all the Dialga safe switch. So we won that one pretty quickly. We didn't get to see what was in the back. Maybe a Togekiss. Trying to think why didn't one ever reveal their last. So we're at 2754. So let's see if we can get anywhere near close to this is my final set as well. So I have to do Monday morning to try to see how close I can get to rank 10. This is the highest elo I've ever been, though. So let's see. With a Melmetal lead, Melmetal's kind of neutral. What I try to do is build to double Wild Charge and see if I can get a shield. Or I'll try to bait with Crunch and then throw Wild Charge last. Because they know that I'm building up to a double Wild Charge. So I throw Crunch, hopefully to get a shield, not to debuff my defense, and then I'll throw a Wild Charge. So it didn't really even matter. I could have just gone double Wild Charge at this point. So I'm kind of starting to see like what are the things I could do better, especially since they didn't shield it. I should have just gone double Wild Charge, especially because I ended up expending a shield. But at this point, okay, so Landorus is tough, but Mewtwo is my only answer right now to any ground types. So I'm very weak to ground, as you can see. So I'm going to try to double up on the side strikes and see if I can start to outpace it. Don't know the Landorus matchup with Mewtwo very well, but I think here they just let it go and it does a ton of damage. That might have been their mistake there. They decided to save both their shields for Togekiss. I have a Melmetal in the back, so that works out perfect. So as long as I can bait out or get rid of their ground type early on, this team works really well. And my Metagross team obviously was also very vulnerable to ground, but Melmetal is a little bit better because it definitely almost always wins the Dialga matchup, where Metagross does not always win it. Because if you have to land that Earthquake and you have to be able to bait really well. And here, they decided to quit. So that was another good game. Definitely should have shielded that Landorus. But they don't expect a team that... It's not a double steel team, but it is still double... We have two Pokemon that are weak to ground. So the ground-on matchup is still tricky. And I've considered running Dialga instead of Zekrom. Because that seems like it makes more sense to people. But Zekrom does really well. So this is why I started leading with Zekrom as well, because Giratina leads. I felt like I was seeing Giratina leads non-stop. And at first I was leading with either Metagross, which worked for a while, or Melmetal. But Melmetal doesn't do that well against Giratina either. I always have to switch out. But I finally have a Pokemon that scares out Giratina. They switch into Dialga. I can easily counter switch with my Melmetal. So this is a very comfortable position here. I'm going to shield this because it could be I was expecting maybe a Draco or a Thunder. because they had charge for a while. So they double shield their Dialga, and I think I'm able to. Do I shield here? No, because I know at this point it must be an Iron Head or a Thunder. Oh, never mind. Okay, I knew it wasn't a Draco anymore because they already expended some energy. But Mewtwo's such a beast; he's able to outpace this thing and should be in Side Strike range at this point. No, he's not. I decide to do the final form with Zekrom. So this is a good position because I have 2 shields. So all I have to do is land the... I could have gone Crunch Wild Charge, and that should be enough. Just in case this happened, should have gone Crunch first to not debuff my defense. I would have been able to save my shield there. So that's, like we learned these lessons. This is my first time ever using Zekrom. This is 100% Zekrom that I got like maybe the last day was here, so it was pretty awesome. But here we're pretty comfortable because Ominous Winds doesn't do much, and I figured even if they Shadow Balled me, Mewtwo has a lot of energy, or is able to outpace it, and I can get to a Side Strike before it gets to its next Ominous Wind. And if they had dropped an Ominous Wind there, it would have not KO'd. So they... maybe that was already a lost game. But anyways, the reason I like Zekrom more than I would have with a Dialga lead, because obviously I have to switch out of every Dialga lead because I will lose, but Zekrom does pretty well against Groudon if you're able to catch that bait. If you're able to like figure out that this is an Earthquake and not a Fire Punch, because I resist fire where Dialga will get neutral because of the Steel typing. So it does have a better Groudon matchup, and it still scares off Giratinas. And you have that, that Thunder, the electric typing to kind of do well against Kyogres too, because you do see a lot of Kyogres. So again, this keeps happening. It's like Giratina with Dialga Safe Switch. Now I haven't played in the Master League very much. I've been playing Premier Cup this whole time, and now that now that all the leagues are open, I wanted to try Master League. I hadn't done much, and I always tend to do the best in the Master League, and we're gonna have a lot of time to do Great League. Not one of those people that are like super into Great League. I mean, I love it. Obviously, I like to play it, but I'm not the best at it, which is why I'm not always super excited that it's back. I guess the most exciting thing is that a lot of the best players are playing in the Great League. So it gives me the opportunity to possibly push for rank 10. So I start to count the mud shots. I know it's 5 to the Fire Punch. He's already gotten enough to an Earthquake. So I throw... This could be an Earthquake. Does Zekrom win CMP? I guess, yeah, I win CMP. I let it go. Now I know that Mewtwo could definitely handle Groudon. And Mewtwo is definitely a Groudon counter because Side Strike does so much. So that's why I didn't need to expend my shield on Zekrom, especially because if they had baited, that would have been really bad. So I knew I had this game locked and I could just Psycho Cut down. That was a good game. So Mewtwo's such a beast. And this, again, is a Shundo Mewtwo that I got from a lucky trade. So it's my prized possession that I had Side Strike, Shadow Ball on, and right as I started doing Master League last week, I TM'd away Shadow Ball again because it's not... I don't think it's the best moveset. I think on PvP Poke it is probably the best moveset I've seen before. Some people covering that it's the one that it's recommended, but definitely not with all the Steel types roaming around the Master League. Again, another Giratina lead. This is great. So when they switch into Mewtwo, I'm gonna get off a Crunch, and that way I can take a shield because I have enough energy to get to the Crunch, and I'm assuming I'm gonna try to switch into catch a Side Strike with Melmetal. 1, 2, 3, and that was a good count, right? So it's 5 Psycho Cuts to get to Side Strike. I'm able to catch it, so I'm feeling pretty good about that because I'm okay with Mewtwo meeting up with Giratina later. Again, Mewtwo with the energy lead and with shields down, it's going to do really well against Giratina. And I'm going to try to, at this point, I'm going to try to Thunder Shock down. This could be a Focus Blast, Shadow Ball. So there you go. See, like, they're running Side Strike Shadow Ball. Most times, Shadow Ball will still require you to land these Side Strikes. So it's never, doesn't one-shot many things the way that Focus Blast does, which is why Focus Blast is so much better. It's good for the mirror. But I always bait that I have Shadow Ball anyways in the mirror, and I sometimes will be able to get the shield. Okay, feeling okay here. What I'm going to do is I'm probably going to build up past the Focus Blast. I mean, shields are down, but I'm going to try to build past the Focus Blast, try to bait. Hopefully they shield here. I'm able to survive one more Rock Slide, and then I can get to... They did not shield. Okay, so they knew that was like probably my win condition there. Well, let's see. Are we able to pull this off? So I go for another Side Strike. I do have a ton of energy. They might shield this one. They do not. They do not. So they should have shielded there because I'm able to outpace it to the next one. Or, I mean, I wouldn't CMP. I think this is CMP tie, so they let it go. I switch back into my Zekrom, and I had a move ready, so I'm able to just kind of farm down at this point. And Dragon Breath is so oppressive, it's almost like it doesn't allow you to get that move out. It doesn't allow them to just... They were probably at an ominous win. I'm not sure if they should have shielded Melmetal maybe. It's tricky. But anyways, we got a 5-0, so that's awesome. So I'm feeling pretty good about this team so far, especially with all the Giratina leads. We got to 28-37. We have 5 sets left. Can we make it to rank 10? I would have to get to like 200 points. Yeah, it's gonna be a grind, but I'm gonna expend all my 5 sets early Monday morning to make sure I get as close as possible. I'm okay with missing the first day of season 4. All right, well, if you like that, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.